Have you ever wondered how these big machines in the company work continuously? Even in your home, just by turning on a switch, the fan starts rotating, the bulb starts glowing, and so on. We know it's all because of electricity, right? But actually, what is electricity? How is it produced? And how does it reach our homes? We will discuss all these questions today. In this video, we will understand the A to Z of electricity. We will learn about electric charge, electric current, voltage, batteries, and different types of current, like AC and DC, and so on. So, without wasting time, let's start. Everything around us is made of atoms. Atoms contain charged particles, mainly protons and electrons carry negative electric charge, while protons carry positive charge. But simply having electric charge does not mean that there is electric current. When electric charges move through a suitable path, we call this movement electric current. So, electric current is simply the flow of electric charge through a conductor. For example, when electric charges move through a copper wire, an electric current flows through that wire. But now you may ask, what makes these charges move? To understand this, we first need to understand voltage. Voltage provides the push that causes electric charges to move through a circuit. For example, a battery creates a potential difference between its two terminals. This difference in voltage pushes the charges through the connected circuit, allowing current to flow. Now, this might sound a little difficult to imagine, so let's understand it with a simple example from everyday life, such as water flowing through a pipe. Imagine a water tank placed at a certain height with a pipe connected to it. Because the tank is placed at a height, the water has pressure, and this pressure pushes the water through the pipe. Now, imagine that the water is electric charge. The pipe is an electric wire, and the water tank is like a battery. The height of the water creates pressure, which is similar to voltage, while the flow of water is similar to electric current. The higher the tank is placed, the greater the pressure can be. Similarly, a greater voltage can provide a stronger push for electric charges to move through a circuit. So you can remember it like this. Voltage provides the push, and current is the flow of electric charge. This water analogy is not exactly the same as electricity, but it gives us a simple way to understand how voltage and current are related. A battery is a source of electrical energy that creates a potential difference between its terminals. When we connect the terminals through a complete circuit, this potential difference drives charges through the circuit. For example, when you connect a battery to a small bulb using wires, current flows through the circuit and the bulb glows. For current to flow continuously, there must be a complete conducting path. This complete path, containing components such as a battery, wires, switch, and bulb, is called an electric circuit. When the switch is closed, the circuit is complete, and current can flow. When the switch is open, the path is broken, so current stops flowing. Here is another interesting point about electric current. In a metal wire, the actual electrons move from the negative terminal towards the positive terminal. However, when scientists and engineers talk about the conventional direction of current, they consider current to flow from the positive terminal towards the negative terminal. So, remember this difference. Electron flow is from negative to positive, while conventional current flows from positive to negative. But electric charge does not always flow continuously through a wire. Sometimes charge builds up on the surface of an object, and this is called static electricity. For example, When you rubbed a balloon against your hair, electrons can move from one material to another. The charged balloon can then attract small pieces of paper. This is different from the current used to operate our electrical appliances. Static electricity is mainly a buildup of charge, while electric current involves the movement of charge. Now, let's understand how electric current is measured. The SI unit of electric current is ampere, and it is represented by the symbol A. Current tells us how much electric charge passes through a point in a circuit in a certain amount of time. Mathematically, current can be written as I is equal to Q by T, where I is current, Q is charge, and T is time. 1 ampere means that 1 coulomb of charge passes through a point every second. So the unit of charge is coulomb, while the unit of current is ampere. Electric current is mainly divided into two types: direct current, or DC, and alternating current, or AC. The main difference is the direction in which the current flows. In DC, the current flows in one direction. Batteries and cells provide direct current. That is why many battery-powered devices operate using DC. In AC, the direction of current changes repeatedly with time, so it also has a frequency. AC generators and inverters provide alternating current. Now we understand what electric current is, but there is still a big question. Where does it come from, and how does it travel all the way to us? Electricity is generated at power stations. Different power plants use different energy sources, such as coal, natural gas, water, wind, sunlight, or nuclear energy, to produce electrical power. A generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. The electricity produced at the power station then enters a huge network of transmission and distribution lines. But electricity cannot simply be generated at a low voltage and sent over long distances. Large amounts of electrical power transmitted at low voltage would cause greater energy loss in the transmission lines. So transformers are used to increase the voltage before electricity travels over long distances. This allows electrical power to be transmitted more efficiently, with lower current and reduced energy loss in the wires. After traveling through the transmission network, electricity reaches substations. Here, transformers reduce the voltage to suitable levels for distribution. In India, electricity is commonly distributed at 33 kilovolts and 11 kilovolts levels. Large industries may receive electricity at these voltages and use transformers to reduce it to the level needed for their machines. The voltage is then reduced further through the distribution system. Finally, a local transformer reduces it to around 230 volts AC, which is the standard household supply in India. So the journey is simple to understand. Electricity is generated, stepped up for transmission, stepped down at substations, and finally reduced to a suitable voltage for our homes. Current, voltage, and power. They are related, but they do not mean the same thing. Current is the flow of electric charge. Voltage is the potential difference that provides the electrical push, while electrical power tells us how quickly electrical energy is being transferred or used. We will study electric current, voltage, resistance, power, and Ohm's law in much greater detail in the next lessons. So stay connected with us. If you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.